Welcome to another Spiritual Awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green. You know what to do, family. Tag and share and tag. Tag and share and tag. That people who vibe with our tribe know that we are on the air right now. So honored and privileged to be with you yet again. Almighty, we're so thankful and grateful for this opportunity. Thank you for your epic guidance, your precise guidance. You're leading us and guiding us into all truth. We open ourselves up to evolve, transform, and ascend. We thank you for the magnanimous manifestation of miracle signs and wonders, and of our oneness, the expression of our oneness, the powerful expression of our oneness with you. And we give you praise and we thank you as we honor the name, the way, the consciousness, and power of Yeshua HaMashiach. It is so, and so it is. So glad to see you on tonight. This is going to be an abbreviated version of Spiritual Awakening with yours truly, Dr. A.G. Green. I am preparing to catch a flight, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to make some deposits in you today. So I'm not going to go through the usual introductions, although I do want you to briefly take a moment to type in the comment section, I am powerful. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think. And it is according to the power that worketh in us. Come on, type it in the comment section. I am powerful. And I encourage you to speak it out loud at least 3 times. I am powerful. Feel it, sense it, know it, and utter it with deep conviction. I am powerful. What an honor, a blessing, and a privilege it is to be able to walk in your divine inheritance and birthright as a powerful, dynamic, divine, spiritual being. And we are so thankful and grateful that here amongst our tribe, yes, we're vibing with the tribe. And this tribe loves to embrace its divine, inherent power. I am powerful. And I want to thank all those, even right now, who are typing it in the comment section and who've uttered it out loud, because it is incumbent upon all of us to own and recognize the power that we are. I'm going to start a new series with you. I know that I had said I was going to begin a series on spiritual principles. If you allow me some grace to delay that teaching, I just sense a leading over the next few weeks to talk to you from a different topic as we're preparing to finish this calendar year. And even if you watch this at the turn of the next year or in years to come, what we discuss here today is still going to be relevant in terms of empowering you to empower yourself. And so I'm going to begin a series entitled Do the Work. Do the Work. This is part 1 of Do. Constantly preparing to become better versions of themselves and experience a life or lifestyle that they've desired to experience. Sometimes there are many things that do get in the way of this transformation. And as a matter of fact, a resident therapist is going to keep up with it, with, of course, the installments. But this is entitled Do the Work Part 1, and I'm trying to be a little bit more efficient and specific in terms of helping you to understand what the title is and making sure that you realize that this is going to be entitled Part 1, Do the Work, the Inner Architecture of Transformation. The Inner Architecture of Transformation. And again, as we are preparing, when this was created, to finish this year strong and embrace the upcoming new year, I just sensed in my heart that I needed to talk about this. Matter of fact, there will be a 2 or 3 part blog series that will be up over, if not this week, next week, in line with everything that I'm going to be discussing here with you. Rumi said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all barriers within yourself that you have built against it, end quote, Rumi. Now, as we do prepare, family, as we do prepare uh, for to experience a strong finish in terms of this calendar year, uh, a text came to mind that I want to share with you that I think is also fitting, and it's going to be coming from, and I'll put these scriptures up tonight. It's going to be coming from Mark 2:22. Mark 2:22, and I'm not desiring to exegete the text as I would typically do as it relates to scriptures. But it discusses new wine cannot be poured into old wineskins, basically a metaphor of saying that something new cannot be poured into something old. And some of you all know the history behind the wineskins. The older they were, the less elastic they were. They lost flexibility and elasticity. And so if you would pour new wine into something old, many times the bag would break or a leak would be created and it couldn't hold the new. That is the premise behind that message that Yeshua shared in the Gospels. I want you to understand that as you are desiring to take on a new year, exit this one strong and begin a new year, or if you're watching me even in the middle of a year and you desire transformation in your life, you're going to have to remove the old program. You're going to have to deal with the old mindset, and in order for you to be able to embrace something new. And so this, to me, is important as it's going to aid us all on our journey. I want you to understand that God, the creator, source, and sustainer, will not pour a new life into an old identity. God will not pour a new life into an old identity. Hear me. I want you to recognize that I teach identity, living from identity, manifesting from identity, affirmations and other processes, declarations and meditation, and all these things are wonderful. They are part of the access to spiritual technology and the utilization of spiritual and psychological technology. But those things are designed to shift you into a state of consciousness where you become the things you're saying, speaking, decreeing, and meditating on. The miracle isn't the blessing. The miracle is the becoming. The miracle isn't the blessing. The miracle is the becoming. Romans 12:2 says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. The renewing of your mind. So I want you to type this in the comment section. I first want you to type this in the comment section. The miracle isn't the blessing. The miracle is the becoming. The miracle isn't the blessing. The miracle is the becoming. Transformation, family, is not external rearrangement, it is internal resurrection. Manifestation for the external is going to begin with an internal insurrection. And from that insurrection, meaning an uprising against old teaching and old programming, is going to lead us down the pathway of death, being buried, and eventually experiencing an internal resurrection. And after we have an internal psychological and mental resurrection, there's going to be great manifestation. It was Yeshua who told the blind man in Matthew 9:29, according to your faith be it unto you. And I've taught from this text various times. Uh, or become what you believe is what the Message translation says. Family, faith is not belief alone. It is identity alignment. Oh, thank you, Almighty. Faith is not belief alone. It is identity alignment. You and I are literally shifting in our identity. And again, we're going to shift by faith in adopting new mindsets, shift by faith in adopting new paradigms. shift by faith, again, in adopting new beliefs. This is where we use faith to shift into alignment, watch this, with the greatest, best version of ourselves as desired for us by the creator, source, and sustainer. And as we exist in what I believe already exists in a universe somewhere. I don't want to get into that. So you must become the one who expects, receives, and steward what the divine sends your way. Oh my goodness. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Become the one who expects and receives. So if you are desiring to manifest a better career, then prepare to be trusted right now to steward that career, to oversee it, in a way that is responsible, to oversee it in a way that's going to ensure maximum success. So point one is transformation begins within. Type that in the comment section. Transformation begins within. Point two is the brain, spirit, and the power to change. The brain, the spirit, and the power to change. Neuroscience says the brain is always rewiring itself, according to Dr. Norman Deutsch. Spirit says, behold, I make all things new, according to Revelations 21:5. Psychology says your future self must dictate your present actions. Your future self must dictate your present actions, according to Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I want you to hear me real clearly as I am sharing this teaching with you. I want you to understand and I want you to recognize exactly what I am transmitting to you today, and transmitting, of course, in love, for you to understand that in the present, you must embrace family to move forward into the future. In the present, you must prepare and embrace to move forward into the future. Now, look like I skipped over a couple of things in my notes. So let me go back. What I want to say about changes is that most people want a new life without becoming a new person. I'm talking about identity shifting right now in terms of you putting in the work. That is the fundamental contradiction that sabotages transformation, family. You've got to, at some point in time, recognize that a new life means you become a new person. Yes, everyone wants elevation, abundance, explosion, and breakthrough, but far fewer want introspection, excavation, emotional surgery, or spiritual honesty. Wow. Many desire the crown, but few desire the inner crucible that forges the one who can wear it. I want you to understand that when I say do the work, it's not merely a slogan. It is a metaphysical law, a psychological necessity, a sociological reality, and a spiritual initiation. Every mystical tradition, every branch of psychology, every framework of human potential, and every scientific model of personal change converges on this one truth. Inner transformation, family, precedes outer manifestation. I'm backtracking a little bit because I realized I skipped over some things I should have covered. Inner transformation precedes outer manifestation. Type that in the comment section. Inner transformation precedes outer manifestation. Type that in the comment section for me. And let me look at my time to make sure that I'm able to do what I need to do and get off here in time. Okay. Neville Goddard described it this way: you cannot rise to any level that you have not consented to in your own consciousness. You cannot rise to any level that you have not consented to in your own consciousness. In other words, the level that you desire to go to, before the body can get there, the spirit and mind must go there first. Did you catch that? That means this old you is insufficient to take you to the new you, but you must change from who you are right now in these now moments in order to set yourself up to manifest the incarnate version of yourself in what we call the future. Carl Jung framed it differently. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. I've discussed this quote before. The unconscious is always pulling the strings, it's always guiding, always creating. But we must make it conscious in terms of first changing it and bringing it into the state of visibility. But again, based on the thoughts and the intentions and the beliefs we actually desire. But if not, you allow your unconscious, and some people use another category that we talk about a lot, the subconscious. It will guide you. It will be a master and operate as a master. And you don't know that this operating system is creating and co-creating your reality every day. Modern neuroscience states the same truth in scientific language. The brain is in an anticipation machine. It predicts the world you will experience based on who you believe yourself to be. End quote. This is from Dr. Lisa Feldman Barrett, 2017. So we've talked about the brain being the predictive prophet, anticipating an outcome before it even processes information from these senses. Okay, and metaphysics, of course, affirms your inner state becomes your outer story. Type that in the comment section. My inner state becomes my outer story. My inner state becomes my outer story. All right. So this is the heart of do the work. You cannot manifest a life differently from the identity you hold, the emotions you habitually rehearse, or the assumptions you unconsciously nurture. Change your inner architecture, and you will inevitably change your outer reality. I'm going to say it again. Change your inner architecture, and you will inevitably change your outer reality. Listen, I got to stop here. I'm actually in the place I should be in my notes. So I'm going to start with point number one when we come together again, talking about the spiritual law of correspondence. As within, so without. That's where I'm going to start when we pick up next time. Now, listen, if you want me to do a bonus video, I will do a bonus video. I just wanted to get this in. I'm getting ready to catch a flight here shortly. And I got some other things to do. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to drop some kind of knowledge and information, of course, in love, to give you further guidance on what's necessary for us to continue to make strides in evolving, transforming, and ascending in efforts of manifesting the best, greatest version of ourselves, finishing strong, starting the new year with a new identity as a new us. All right. It's time to do the work. It's time to shed the excuses. Okay. It's time to get past why this didn't happen and why that didn't happen. It's time out for us expecting outer change without changing inwardly. It's time for us to abandon settling for old habits that have brought us the same old, stale, or insufficient results. And it's time for us to embrace that we're going to have to take up the mantle of the challenge and begin within by creating a new identity, shifting into that identity so that we can see the external again come into alignment with the desire and the intended creation of the us or the new us that takes place from within. So I'm going to pick up when we come together again. Now, if you leave enough comments in the comment section, family, I'll do another video where we can come together, announce it in advance before Sunday, and I will highlight some more of these things. If you're hungry and thirsty for it, that I'm here to feed it to you. But I'm sorry I don't have time to get into the first one tonight. I know I gave you a point earlier that's actually should have been shared later in the presentation. I'll revisit it later. But it's time to do the work. I want you to type it in the comment section. It's time for me to do the work. It's time for me to do the work. Let me see. Let me look at my time. Do I have time? No, I really don't have time. Let me shut it down. It's time for me to do the work. All right. Love y'all so dearly. I'm going to release you right now with the shalom blessing, and I'll see you hopefully, if not in a couple of hours, a day or two. I'll pick this up again, but it all depends on the comments that you leave in the comment section. Love you. Shalom, shalom, peace, wholeness, and prosperity. Nothing missing and nothing broken. And remember what we discussed here today. Do the work. Thank you for being a part of this journey of awakening and transformation. Support the light through Revolution Inc. by liking, sharing, and giving. Cash App $AG Green and $AG Green Enterprises. You can also give by Zelle. Anthony G. Green at hotmail.com is what you use. And Chime $Anthony/Green/336. If you haven't joined as a member of Patreon, now is a good time. We're a spiritual community that's evolving, transforming, and ascending. If you like what you have seen and heard, connect with us. It's time to vibe with your tribe. Also take time to visit theaggreen.com for the latest developments and explore divinespeciesshop.com for spiritual tools to elevate your life. Your love and support helps keep this mission alive.